The regular season is done and dusted, and now no matter what seed you are, what number is next to your name, everyone's record is 0-0. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Phoenix Christian Football on the Phoenix Christian Football YouTube channel. My name is Nicholas Petrisky, and we welcome you into tonight's first-round AIA football matchup between your Phoenix Christian Cougars and the Tonopah Valley Phoenix. Hello, everyone. My name is Nicholas Petrisky. Thank you for joining us here on the Phoenix Christian Football pregame show, short pregame show. We started a little bit later than what we would like. It's okay. Still enough time to set the stage and tell you what you might expect in tonight's first-round AIA matchup here in the 2A. Now, starting off with your Phoenix Christian Cougars, what has been their bread and butter all year? Well, it's been running the football. Phoenix Christian, pound the rock, run and run and run. Power T, even just sometimes a little offset eye action you might see. But guess what? It's going to be running the football. And then guess what? When everyone's in the box, that's when the play action is called. And Phoenix Christian, well, guess what? They come in as the 9 seed. And guess what? They're going to rely on that run. More importantly, rely on senior running back Javian Willis. Willis, a senior, just barely clipped 1,000 yards. And when I mean barely, he got exactly 1,000 yards through 10 games this year. A perfect 100 yards a game, 1,000-yard rusher. But it doesn't matter if you're 1,000 or 1,085. You're a 1,000-yard rusher, and in 10 games, regardless of what level you're in, that is very impressive. He's going to lead the way for the Phoenix Christian rushing attack alongside Brandon Scroggins, Aiden Flynn, Trayshawn Ransom, Zion Rondan, and many others. You'll see a couple. You might even see Luke Hawking, the former running back lineup, in goal line situations. Flipping it over to the other side, and basically the complete opposite offensive philosophy, and that is Tonopah Valley. Tonopah Valley led by quarterback Malachi Wilt. Wilt is second in all of Arizona from 6A all the way down to 1A in passing yards with just shy of 3,800. That is in 10 games, averaging just under 380 yards a game. At any level of football, that is impressive. If he was in the NFL, he'd be on track for well over 5,000 yards for those to put it into perspective. Now, you're going to have the run game of Phoenix Christian. You're going to see the run and gun, the passing-heavy offense of Tonopah Valley. Well, what does that mean for this game? Well, it could be anything. Phoenix Christian, their philosophy, score on, score early, force the other team kind of to get uncomfortable and maybe get out of their element. Well, when you're behind, what do? You pass the ball, which is what Tonopah Valley is very comfortable doing. For Tonopah Valley, it may be the other opposite. Get ahead early, force Phoenix Christian to maybe rely on the arm of quarterback Cyrus Renteria early on. Renteria coming off a dislocated elbow just a couple weeks ago on his left elbow, not his right. So he is still cleared to throw and throw how many ever times he needs to, but it is careful having to hold the ball with 2 hands and to maybe not have the mobility of that left elbow and that left arm that he was used to in the Cortez game and in the games leading before that we saw him play. Excuse me. Well, that about does it for us on the pregame show here. You're going to see a lot of running football. You're going to see a lot of passing football. 2 very different schemes and philosophies. 2 teams both coming into tonight's matchup 8-2, having lost 2 games to 2 very tough opponents. Phoenix Christian, you lost to Tanca Verde week 1, and you lost to Camp Verde, who ended up winning your region. Tonopah Valley, you lost to the number 2 seed ALA, and you also lost to a 3A school in Odyssey Institute. Very close game, only a 3-point loss. 2 teams that really, when you look at it and almost look at the numbers of it, they really couldn't be any more different, but yet couldn't be any more even. Folks, for a neutral, if you're a neutral fan watching this, you're going to be in for a treat. If you're a Cougar fan, welcome in. We thank you for your support. If you're a fan of Tonopah Valley, or Tonopah Valley, I do correct. I believe it is Tonopah Valley. We welcome you and thank you again for choosing Phoenix Christian Football YouTube channel to watch this game if you can't make it out to the field tonight. And, folks, this is going to be a really good game. I can't wait for it. I know you can't wait for it. Kickoff is just about 5 to 6 minutes away. So I'm going to flip the camera and mute myself as you get ready for Phoenix Christian Football here on the Phoenix Christian Football YouTube channel. Don't go anywhere, folks, because this is Phoenix Christian Football on the Phoenix Christian Football YouTube channel. Don't go anywhere, folks. Hello and welcome to Phoenix Christian Football here on the Phoenix Christian Football YouTube channel here at Tonopah Valley High School, just off of Interstate 10 that connects Phoenix to the big city of Los Angeles. Hello everyone, my name is Nicholas Petrisky and I am honored and privileged to be joined alongside you here tonight. I do want to apologize in the pregame. I did say Tonopah. I now know it is Tonopah. Thank you, and I do appreciate that because I was not sure coming in and I did not get any word from anyone from if it was one or the other. So I do apologize for that. And once again, my name is Nicholas Petrisky. I'll be doing play-by-play for you and throughout this entire 48 minutes of action from the West Valley. Tonopah Valley set to receive the opening kickoff. Phoenix Christian will kick off, but folks, as some of you might know by now, Phoenix Christian not shy of kicking an onside kick right away and trying to steal a possession. Same with the Phoenix as well. They like to go onside kicks, so a lot of onside kicks might be in play here in this game, and especially early on. Israel Torres set to get us underway here in the first round of the AAA playoffs. Israel Torres, the main kickoff duty, as well as Adua Salefu, who you might see, the senior kicker. Two very different kicking styles. Refs get ready, and now we are underway here in the West Valley on the campus of Tonopah Valley High School. Israel Torres squibs it. Ball bouncing, and it looks like the Cougars have recovered it, but it looks like there is a flag down for illegal touching just a yard earlier of that yard to get. You need to get to the 50 in order to touch it without it being a penalty. So an early break for the Phoenix as they'll take over the Cougars' own 49-yard line. And early on, we'll meet quarterback Malachi Wilt. Wilt, a sophomore, standing 5'11". So far this season, completing 254 of his 364 passing attempts for 3,729 yards, 44 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions. The 3,000 yards ranks second in all of the state of Arizona in passing yards. And no matter how you phrase that, it's impressive as a sophomore to be second in the state in passing. A bright future ahead for this young man. First and 10 from the Cougar 49. Four receivers near side left. Wilt makes adjustments at the line. Gets the snap. Looking left. Pressure coming. Wilt goes down! A mix of Zaire Smith and Israel Torres getting to Wilt on the first play. That's something you need to be weary of if you're Tonopah Valley. The rush that Phoenix Christian has, not just Zaire Smith. With that, makes it sack number 7 on the year. Also Pablo Hernandez, Brandon Scroggins, Cassius Grimwade. They got a lot of guys that can rush the passer and like to do it. Second and long from the Phoenix 41. Wilt gets the snap. Quick throw out to the left. Croft with a bit of space out past the 50. All the way out past the 40 near what would be, and it looks like the initial marking says Phoenix first down. Great play there. You take the sack on first down. You get the first down on second and long, and now you're right back in business. First and 10 from the Cougar 38. Wilt trying to set up a screen to his man Sanchez Caldwell. Sanchez Caldwell dragged down. Ball's on the ground. Cougars say they have it, and they do. Michael Harmon falling on the loose ball, and the Cougars with a huge turnover early in the first quarter. Not something you want to see from your junior wide receiver and / running back, really, Sir Isaac Sanchez Caldwell. Sanchez Caldwell second in 2A in receiving yards, and well, there is something you don't want to see as he puts the ball on the turf early in the game. Cougars come out 1st and 10. Handoff goes to Willis. Willis breaking a tackle, diving forward for a couple. Looks like there's a little bit of miscommunication among the Phoenix Christian backfield. Willis elusive enough to get about 2 to bring up 2nd and 8 from their own 35. Handoff up the middle. This is Flynn, and Flynn will dive forward once again for about 2. Be 3rd and 6 from the Cougars on 37. They need the 43 for first down. Handoff goes to Willis off the left side. Willis, a bit of space. Initial spot, does he have it? And he does. Cougars needed 6. They got 7 on 3rd down.
That's a 6-yard gain
A fresh set of downs for the Cougar offense. You know, sometimes it's not about making the big, flashy play, the 50-yard touchdown bomb or the big run. Sometimes just getting 7 yards on 3rd down is huge. Willis, the man in motion. He'll get it. Trying to find room, and he'll be taken down for a loss. Nowhere to go there. Looks like Willis was quicker than his lead blocker. Croft, the tackler.
1 yard, 2nd down and 11.
Excuse me, not Croft, the tackler. That was Thomas Fulifutu on the tackle. Fulifutu, 48 tackles. Heading into tonight's first-round matchup. 2nd and 11. 2 receivers, far side left. Flag flies, and it looks like someone in the backfield for Phoenix Christian jumped. That is the call. So 2nd and 11 becomes a 2nd and 16, and you're pretty much back to where you started last drive at the 38. 8:55 left to play here in the first quarter. Thank you for those tuning in from wherever you might be. We appreciate your support. Handoff goes to Scroggins. Scroggins, a bit of space, makes the man miss out past the first down. You had all the eyes on Willis. They handed off to Scroggins up the middle. A great play call there from Coach Jason Kindred.
Phoenix Christian first down.
Cougars have it 1st and 10 from the Tonopah Valley 45, the first time they traveled into enemy territory here tonight. 1st and 10. Flynn, the man in motion. Handoff up the middle. Goes to Scroggins. He'll keep his legs churning, but not more than a yard. Scroggins brought down by a couple of men in all black uniforms. First time, speaking of uniforms, that the Cougars are donning gray pants. Usually you see them in green and white or white on white, but today they decided to bust out the gray pants. A look I quite like. Handoff up the middle to Scroggins on a fullback dive. Pyle trying to get pushed forward and eventually brought down for a gain of about 3. Bring up 3rd and 6 from the Phoenix 42.
1 yard gain on play. 3rd down and 7.
Flynn checks out of the game. Renteria gets the play from the sideline. 7:13 left to play in the first quarter. And it looks like the Phoenix jump offside. They do. That is the call. they came across the line. You did see a little movement there from the left guard. I believe that was Cooper Quinton. But before he moved, the Phoenix jump off sides and make a 3rd and long into a 3rd and manageable, and surely something that if the Cougars don't get, you go for it early in the game. Hand off to Scroggins. Scroggins following blockers and has more than enough for a 1st down. Cougars like to score on their opening drive. The only time they have not came last week at home against Kingman Academy. Other than that, they have scored on each opening possession in every game this season. Tonopah Valley trying to keep that streak going. Phoenix Christian, the handoff here, up the middle to Scroggins, trying to get that streak back going. Seen a heavy dose of Brandon Scroggins on this drive. Coach Kindred trying to use as many of his different backs as he can, as now you see Zion Rondan check into the game. Halfway through the 1st quarter, Cougars 0, Phoenix 0. 2nd and 9. Handoff goes up the middle to Scroggins. He'll be lucky to get about a yard. Phoenix not fooled on that one. 3rd and 8.
That's a 3rd down.
Cougars have the ball on the Phoenix 29. They need to get all the way out to the 21 for a 1st down. Wouldn't surprise me if you maybe see the Coach Kindred special play action. You've ran the ball every play on this drive. You had a couple of times where you've seen Renteria kind of bootleg it out. You wonder if you maybe see that empty backfield coming up here. And they'll pitch it to Zaire Smith off the right side. Couple blockers, but not enough for a 1st down. He'll get back to the original line of scrimmage. Some pushing and shoving there on the sideline. Fourth and 7. Maybe it is still 4th and 8. From the 29, Phoenix Christian electing to go for it. Renteria trying to draw the Phoenix offside. They hold their water, and Coach Kindred uses his 1st time out of the half. 4:58 left to play. You know, really interesting scenario here for the Cougars because you're out of the range of Adu Asalefu. You're kind of in that no man's land, if you will, where you're maybe a little too close to punt the ball. If you're maybe at the 40, even 45 out, you know, you'd say maybe punt. In practice, the punter was Renteria yesterday when I was at practice observing, and yesterday at practice, Phoenix Christian paid a visit from Station 18 Fire Department. Jason Kindred's older brother, Larry Kindred, a member of the Phoenix Fire Department, and well, a couple of those firefighters, former NFL players, Roy Lewis and Trevin Wade, gave some words of wisdom and encouragement to the Cougars, as it looks like they will elect to straight up go for it on 4th and 8. Renteria gets the snap, play action pass, looking to his left, trying to find Zaire Smith. Smith catches it at the 5. Touchdown, Cougars!
Touchdown, Phoenix Christian.
A beautifully placed ball from Renteria to Smith, his 1st receiving touchdown on the year, and the Cougars take an early 6-0 lead. Asalefu on to try the point after. Harmon the snapper, Harmon the holder. Snap back, hold good. Kick is up, and it is good. With 4:51 left to play in the 1st quarter, Phoenix Christian leads Tonopah Valley 7-0. Zaire Smith, the frame of someone that offensive coordinators love to use, standing 6'4", 200 pounds. Really, you could argue could play either tight end or wide receiver, and a big wingspan, a big range to get it to. And Renteria just absolutely placed it in the breadbasket. And now we get to see what the call is here from the Cougars special teams unit. Do you see another onside kick? If it wasn't for illegal touching just a yard earlier, it would have had the ball to start off this game. Do you see a squib up the middle? In between the 50 and the 40, you see 9 Tonopah Valley players expecting that squib kick that Phoenix Christian has done this year. The farthest Phoenix stands at the 19. And that is Sanchez Caldwell now moving up to the 20. Israel Torres squib kicks it, and looks like the Cougar crossed the line a little too soon. And now you maybe rethink the strategy of onside kicking it. Move the ball back to the 35. And interesting, do you see the Cougars try to squib kick? And it looks like they're going to call Israel Torres over with the play call. Israel Torres, a freshman, has really made his mark this season on kickoffs with that squib kick, kind of toe poking it, almost Lou Groza-esque. I might even be dating some of my viewers watching with that reference, as they do squib kick it. Ball gets past a couple of Phoenix defenders, and Michael Harmon with a big hit out of bounds. I think the ball trickled past about 3 Phoenixes right there, and you know, you maybe say, well, do you normal kick it? Well, that basically would have been a normal kick. Phoenix take over at the 28-yard line, their own 28-yard line. Wilt and the Phoenix offense was driving prior to this fumble of Sanchez Caldwell. Wilt gets it off quickly. This is McManaman up the middle of the field, brought down by Aiden Flynn. Not before a gain of 8 on first down, making it 2nd and 2. Phoenix go no huddle. Cougars show blitz, and they do. Quick throw out near the sticks, and eventually brought down just shy of the 45 is Robert S. Carcega, the 4th. Javian Willis over on the coverage and the tackle. Smart play, just a quick hitch at the sticks. You don't need, like I said before, you don't need 15 yards on 2nd and 2. You need 3. Keep the chains moving, keep the clock moving, get your offense in rhythm. Wilt gets a snap. Once again, a quick throw over to Sanchez Caldwell. Makes a couple man miss before eventually being dragged down just shy of the first down. Saw a couple of Cougars get close to batting that one away. You've seen the Phoenix go really quick. Not a lot of long passing concepts, screens, quick outs, hitches, getting the ball out of Wilt's hands fast, and just getting the offense in rhythm here with 3:26 left in the first quarter. 2nd and 1, Wilt under pressure, gets it off. Pass is caught at the 35 by Croft. And now you see the Phoenix offense getting their rhythm and seeing what they've really been capable of all year. An offense that is not shy scoring points. This regular season, the Phoenix averaging 44.7 points a game. And their passing yards, well, I'd say about more than quadruple the national average. 1st and 10 from the Phoenix Christian 35. Wilt gets the snap, looking right. Pressure come pass is caught over the middle of the field by Sanchez Caldwell. Down all the way to the 5. There's the first big downfield play.
5-yard line for a Tonopah Valley first down.
Actually be marked at the 6, so Phoenix have it 1st and goal and are on the doorstep of responding to the Cougars. .228 left to play in the first quarter. Wilt hands it off to Sanchez Caldwell. He'll push forward. Does he have enough? No. Looks like he'll be marked a couple yards short at the 2 as Tonopah Valley coaches say go quickly. 2nd and goal from the 2. Wilt with Sanchez Caldwell to his right. Handoff goes to Caldwell. Cut up the middle, and it looks like he's short. He is. Try number 2 from inside the 5 is no good.
That's a third.
Be 3rd and goal. It looks like the Phoenix actually lost a yard there, so it'll be 3rd and goal from the 3. 4 receivers go far side right. Wilt by himself. Wilt gets the snap, hands off to Sanchez. Caldwell up the middle. Phoenix say they have it. They do. Touchdown. And very quickly, the Phoenix respond and are a point after away from tying the ball game. Croft on to try the extra point. Snap is high, hold is good. Kick is up, and it is good.
Extra point attempt is good.
And with 1:23 left to play in the first quarter, score Tonopah Valley Phoenix 7 and your Phoenix Christian Cougars 7. We'll take a quick break and be back with you in a moment. Welcome back to Tonopah Valley High School here in West Valley, and Cougars facing a 3rd and 12. First play of the drive, an 8-yard rush negated by a holding call. And Cougars now trying to get back ahead of the sticks and keep this drive alive. You wonder what the call here is. Last time they faced, well, it was a 4th and long, but that's when the Cougars scored on a long pass to Zaire Smith. Referees talking about something, potentially their clock, or maybe just some notes that they have. 5-man crew tonight. 3rd and 12. 2 receivers, far side right and near side left. Renteria gets the snap, fumbles the snap, can't fall on it. Phoenix have it. Phoenix take over at the Phoenix Christian 27 off of a bad snap, and that was the center, Isaiah Klein, trying to set up a kind of screen play. And as a center myself, you try to snap it quick and get out there, and sometimes you don't get the ball back. The ball rolls, and Phoenix ready to pounce. Wilt set up a screen of their own. Open field, 1 man to beat. McManaman tackled down at the 5 by Rondan.
That's good for a Tonopah Valley first down.
1st and goal from the 5. Three receivers, far side left. Croft in motion. Pass is incomplete, trying to set up another kind of quick hitting screen.
Pass incomplete.
2nd and goal. Last time Phoenix Christian defense held stout for a couple plays before the Phoenix scored on a 3-yard rushing touchdown. Here's the handoff to Sanchez Caldwell. They'll do it again, pushing the pile forward. And he's in. Touchdown, Phoenix. Sanchez Caldwell's 13th rushing touchdown on the year. As Croft will try to make it a 7-point game with his right leg. Kick is up, and it is good. With 11:19 left to play here in the first half. Score, Tonopah Valley Phoenix 14 and your Phoenix Christian Cougars 7. Two of 3 touchdowns tonight have come courtesy of turnovers. You had Sanchez Caldwell's early fumble, and then the fumble on the botched quarterback center exchange. And again, Phoenix Christian not a team that runs a whole lot of shotgun compared to that, the likes of especially of Tonopah Valley. And now Phoenix Christian finds themselves trailing for the first time since the Camp Verde game. They were unable to mount a comeback. Lost 35-15. Phoenix Christian hands unit, shifts, and now kick goes to Grimwade at the 40, and he'll calmly catch it at the 40.
And Phoenix Christian will take over the ball on the 40-yard line. 1st and 10.
Phoenix Christian, chance now to drive down and tie the ball game. Phoenix Christian do get second half kickoff. That's something to keep your mind if you're a fan of the Cougars or Phoenix tuning in. Handoff. Goes forward for maybe a yard. That's Trayshawn Ransom, the ball carrier.
Excuse me. 1 yard.
Bring up 2nd and 9. Still a whole lot of time left in the ballgame. Not the time to panic quite yet if you're the Cougars. Play action pass, Renteria. Look to throw it deep to Paris. Near the 40, pass is picked off. Nagia Cooper taking it out to the 50-49 eventually. Taken out near the 45 as he'll get knocked over by his own teammate, and for the second drive in a row, Phoenix Christian turns the ball over. Paris had the height advantage by an inch over Nagia Cooper, but just an underthrown ball by Renteria. I'm not sure why he went deep. He had Javian Willis out in the flat. Could have turned up for a gain of probably 20. Is sometimes the fault of a quarterback that really is not a quarterback with getting his eyes locked in on his first read. Wilt hands it off to Sanchez Caldwell. He'll make a man miss, but not before running into a couple of other Cougars. And on the tackle, Aiden Flynn and Pablo Hernandez. Had a chance to talk to Hernandez after practice. Hernandez, a wrestler by training. Actually, I beg your pardon. I believe that was Israel Torres on the tackle, and it was. We'll get into Pablo here in a little sec. Wilt, handoff to Sanchez Caldwell again, and taken down by Michael Harmon at the 45. We'll bring up 3rd and 4. But talking to Hernandez at practice this week, well, just yesterday, he said that, being a wrestler helps him tremendously with, his hand placement, where to shed a block or where to place his hands if he's on offensive line. You see him have a couple pancakes back in the first quarter, and Wilt will throw quick to the near side. Pass incomplete, intended for Escarcega. Escarcega wanted a flag. Paris on the coverage. 4th and 4. Tonopah Valley needs Phoenix Christian 31. A big stop here for the Cougars if they can get it. Wilt and the Phoenix false start. It's Escarcega once again getting his name called, but this time not for a good reason, as a 4th and 4 becomes a 4th and 9. Well, you're hyped up. You just had a ball come to you. You thought you were held. A little hand fight with Paris. Didn't get what you wanted. Now your heart's beating, your adrenaline's up, and just forgot the count. 4th and 9 from the Phoenix Christian 40. Sanchez Caldwell in motion, now goes back. Will takes a snap, looking left, fires over the middle, caught Sanchez Caldwell out to the 25.
That's enough yardage for a Tonopah Valley first down.
Phoenix Christian having trouble containing the junior wide receiver / running back, whatever position. Maybe you call it a little bit of a joker position like Cordero Patterson for the Falcons. Can play everything. Can play running back, receiver, wherever the team needs him to. Wilt setting up a screen. This time it's McManaman. McManaman pushed out past the 20 by Paris. There'll be a gain of about 5, depending on where they mark McManaman. Actually, a gain of about 3. Looks like his foot stepped out at the 23, maybe 22-yard line. Second and 7 from the Cougar 22. Wilt gets a snap. Looking to his left. Making a man miss all the way out to the 15 is Escarcega. And he'll have enough for a first down.
That moves the chains for a Tonopah Valley first down.
Last time Phoenix Christian came up against really pass-heavy offense was the Camp Verde game at home. And the same thing happening tonight. They were up early and now trailing here with 8:10 left in the second quarter. First and 10. Wilt looks left and looks over the center of the field. Pass is caught. Touchdown, Phoenix. McManaman with his 10th touchdown on the year. And after some early woes on the first drive, the Phoenix are an extra point away from making it a 14-point ball game. Kick is up, and it is good. And with 7:55 left to play in the second quarter, Tonopah Valley leads Phoenix Christian 21-7. Now 3 of the 4 touchdowns scored here tonight have come off of turnovers, and you hear a lot of coaches in the NFL especially harp getting the ball back, creating turnovers and scoring points. That's really something that, especially in the NFL, can help swing a game, and you see it here. 14 points off turnovers. Well, that's how many points Phoenix Christian are down by. You don't turn the ball over, you keep it. Maybe it's different. You punt the ball, you pin Tonopah Valley back. You never know what might happen. Just like against Camp Verde, the Cougar defensive backfield is struggling. Onside kick coming, high onside kick from Tonopah Valley. Caught, and actually not caught by Israel Torres, but eventually fallen on by Harmon at the 40. And boy, now the Phoenix Christian fans can breathe a sigh of relief. Looks like Trayvon Powell shaken up after that play. Has still not gotten up. He is off the field, so referees deem that play is good to go. First and 10 from the Cougars' own 40-yard line. Zaire Smith in motion. He'll get the ball off the left side and be dragged out of bounds all the way to the 49. Should be marked out at the 48.
That's a 10-yard gain for, an 8-yard
2nd and 2, and
Christian, second down.
Phoenix Christian looking to get their momentum on offense back. Empty backfield. They'll pitch it to Smith once again, and play is stopped before, but would have been a big loss. It was a false start against the Cougars. So what maybe would have been a 3rd and 7 is now a 2nd and 7. Cougars. Pitch goes to Willis. He'll cut up field, follow Smith, a blocker, and get all the way down near the 50. He'll be just shy. But first down, as a flag flies, it looks like this one might come back once again. And it isn't sportsmanlike conduct against the Cougars, as Pablo Hernandez tasseled with a member of the Phoenix, and what would have been a 3rd and, inches. Might come back way past the sticks after a personal foul. Still some conversations taking place between the head line judge and the umpire. Ball be brought back all the way to the 34 of the Cougars, as the penalty is assessed from where the ball was, since it occurred after the play. Once again, just a scenario where you're in a game, it's an important game, potentially your last game of the year. You don't want to go home empty-handed, and just the aggression, the adrenaline, and Hernandez just pulls up late, and, you can't do that after the whistle. 7:10 left to play. Phoenix lead the Cougars 21-7. A lot of empty backfield so far for the Cougars on this drive. Renteria, screen pass to Harmon. Harmon, the double pass. Paris is open at the 45. Nothing but green grass in front. Paris out to the 20. No one's going to catch him. Touchdown, Cougars!
Touchdown. Phoenix Christian.
No flags on the play. And the Cougars add 6 points with a little bit of trickery. Asalefu on to try the point after. Hold is good, kick is up, and it is good. And with 6:51 left to play in the second quarter, Cougars trail the Phoenix by 7. Let's go back to that touchdown. And the man that threw that was Michael Harmon, the linebacker, throwing it lefty to Paris, who was wide open, and all he had to do was beat out the Phoenix defensive backs. Harmon, though, actually ended up starting and playing a game at quarterback for the Cougars a few weeks ago at Mountainside, and the way he even really got the starting gig was he was messing around at practice and throwing it. He said I could throw it about 35, 40 yards, and that was after Renteria dislocated his elbow, and still some question marks surrounding Joel Fajardo and his ability to throw the ball. And Coach Kindred said, hey, Mike, guess what? You're starting at quarterback, and, he did. And he gets his first passing touchdown of the year off of a little double pass. Now, Phoenix Christian more than likely on to onside kick, or at least squib it to try to steal a possession back. Torres, squib toes it, rolls around, eventually taken out to the 50 by the Tonopah Valley hands team. I believe that was Philip Buffett over there, getting about 5-6 extra yards and making it a little bit easier for the Phoenix offense. Tonopah starts off in Cougar territory. Last two drives, Cougar defense unable to really get anything going for a stop. Wilt gets the snap. Quick throw out to his right. This is McManaman with blockers in front. McManaman makes another man miss, a lead blocker. One man to beat. Eventually taken out past the 30 by Rondan. A gain of about 20 on first down, and Phoenix offense basically picking up right where they left off. They'll have the ball on the Cougar 29 now. 1st and 10. Wilt gets the snap, looking right, in trouble, fires deep, looking for his man, incomplete. Pass intended for Croft. We do have a flag down for an eligible man downfield against the Phoenix, so an interesting dilemma. Do you maybe take the down? And Coach Kindred says, no, we want the yards, as they'll move it back 5 more. Paris on the coverage. And boys, he had his hands full today on offense and defense as well. 1st and 15 from the Phoenix Christian 34. Three receivers near side right. Wilt, in his usual empty backfield by himself. McManaman in motion. Wilt looks right. Now tucks it, decides to throw left, has his man at the 20 eventually. Ball comes out. Phoenix Christian says they have it. And they do! A big hit forces the ball out of Escarcega's hands. And the Cougars now with their 2nd turnover on the night.
Fumble recovered by Phoenix Christian. 1st down.
Cougars take over 1st and 10 from their own 19. Turnovers have been killer so far in this game, and with 6:05 left to play in the 2nd quarter, Tonopah Valley still leads, however, 21-14. Handoff on the fullback dive, goes up the middle for about a gain of 4. Scroggins, the ball carrier. Second and 6. Handoff goes up the middle. This is Rondan making 2-man miss and almost tripping over his own feet at the 35 out to the 39. A sophomore making his presence known. If he didn't trip over his own feet, you had a Phoenix in the area, and that probably contributed to him tripping, but Didn't trip over his own feet. He had acres of green space in front of him. Handoff goes to Rondan once again over the right side as we brought down for a gain of about 4. 5:02 left to play. Now under 5 minutes left to play as we have a stoppage for an injured Cougar. It's Luke Hawking, a little slow to get up, favoring one leg over the other. Hawking, former running back himself, does have a rushing touchdown on the year. That came back against Highland Prep. Second and 6. Cougars need their own 49 for a first down. Willis in motion as he'll be taken down for a gain of 1. Cesar Villa in there to make the stop. Good job by the freshman there to read that play. You've seen a lot more motion, a lot more shifts in the backfield from this Phoenix Christian offense trying to catch the Tonopah Valley defense off guard. Handoff goes to Rondan as he'll run into a wall. A little extra tussling after that play between Willis and it looked like Gunnar Hutton. Flag flies, though, and it'll be a hold against the Cougars. So what would have been a 4th and a little bit short turns into a 3rd and long. Penalty assessed from the original line of scrimmage, and I'll take it back all the way to the 34. Safety for the Phoenix is Martin Quinones. Quinones on the roster listed at 5'6", so if you get a matchup between him and Paris or even him and maybe Cassius Grimwade, you gotta like your chances on a 50-50 ball. Scroggins in motion, flag flies, trying to set up a screen very Tonopah Valley-like. Looks like false start against the Cougars. A lot of penalties so far early on against Phoenix Christian. False starts, holdings, all very preventable penalties, and you see what penalties can do to a team. Ball now all the way back at the 29. 3rd and 20. Cougars need their own 49 for a first down. Got to think maybe if you don't get it here, this is a scenario to punt with just about 3 minutes left to play in the first half. Renteria throws it quick to Scroggins, who's trying to set up a screen, and boy, did he have blockers in front of him. Renteria a little slow to get up. A little too rough if you ask me on the hit of Renteria, as looks like we might see a punt team for Phoenix Christian come out for the very first time this year. And look, you're down by 7, you get the ball at half, you think try to give your defense some more room to work with. They've caused 2 turnovers. A couple of times the ball's been close to getting picked off, especially on the most recent touchdown. It was a pin-perfect ball by Wilt. And it looks like the Cougars will line up to punt. Daniel Sanchez will punt it. Left-footed effort, end over end. Ball falls near the 45 and will be down at the 43. Penalty marker down, though, and it looks like Tonopah Valley is not happy with it. This one might make it a different call here for the Cougars. Umpire and head official discussing what might take place. Penalty, even if it is holding against the Phoenix, you still say you're probably a little too far from that. But even then, if it was holding, it would have occurred after the ball was punted. And it is holding against Tonopah Valley, so you take the 5 yards and you probably elect to re-kick it. Try to really flip the field and make the Phoenix go the distance. Well, what was a 4th and 20 will now be first down for the Cougars. Penalty will be assessed after the play. And here, I just want to give a little bit of an explanation, though, for those maybe who are new to football or for those maybe a little bit confused on what happened. So, ball was kicked. So once the ball is in the air, once the ball leaves the foot of the punter, in this case Daniel Sanchez, it flips. Offense becomes defense, defense becomes offense. So a holding penalty would bring the ball in exactly what the refs are doing, 10 yards back from where the ball is down by Michael Harmon, which I believe was the 42, maybe 43. So that's why it's not 4th and 10 Phoenix Christian, rather 1st and 10, just 10 yards backed up for Tonopah Valley. Just under 3 minutes left to play in the first half. Wilt, looking right, finds Croft. Croft with a little bit of space and a blocker out in front, taken out just past the 50. Being more than enough for a first down, and clock stops at 2:50. Ball went out of bounds. First and 10 from Tonopah Valley, zone 49. Wilt gets the snap, looking to his right, pass is caught by Croft once again, working his way over the middle of the field and brought down by a load of Cougars, just shy of the first down. Second and 2, now under 2.5 minutes left to play. You got to think if you're Tonopah Valley, just take as much time off the clock as you can to not give Phoenix Christian even a shot at scoring a late touchdown before the end of the first half. Wilt looks right, throws to McManaman. McManaman makes a man miss and is tackled by the turf monster out near the 20. You see what the Phoenix are trying to accomplish. They're not trying these intricate concepts like Camp Verde does where they're deep, they're throwing the ball deep. It's short, it's quick game, it's getting it to McManaman, it's getting it to Croft out in the middle of the field and letting them do the rest. A lot of what they call rack, receptions after catch, or the rack yards. Getting the ball in your playmaker's hands and letting them do the hard work, opposed to your quarterback having to throw it 40, 50 yards. Wilt handoff to Sanchez Caldwell. Following his blockers up the middle of the field past the 10 for a first down. A late hit by a Tonopah Valley offensive lineman after Sanchez Caldwell went down. No flag flies. I don't know how that's not a personal foul. First and goal. Ball spotted on the 9. 1:05 left to play in the first half. Handoff to Sanchez Caldwell off the right side, looking for room, and he'll find some before being brought down by Michael Harmon at the 6. Now under a minute left to play here. You got to think you got 2 more plays because of the play clock. And all 3 timeouts left for Coach Brett Davis to use. Now under 30 seconds. Wilt snaps it. Play action pass trying to find Cooper in the back of the end zone. Pass goes high. 26 seconds is where the clock is stopped on the incomplete pass. 3rd and goal from the Cougars 6. Cougars trying to hold on and keep it a 7-point game. Tonopah Valley has been great in the red zone this game. Handoff to Sanchez Caldwell. He'll make a man miss. Stiff arming, diving in. Touchdown, Phoenix. And with 20 seconds left to play in the first half, Tonopah Valley once again an extra point away from making it a 14-point ball game. Croft on to try the extra point. Kick is up, and it is good. A looping point after there from Croft.
Successful. Tonopah Valley, 28.
So you got 20 seconds left. You got 2 timeouts. Assuming that Tonopah Valley does onside kick it, you assume you get the ball. You have 20 seconds left. You have 2 timeouts. Is that enough to go down and get a touchdown? Yes. Is that enough to maybe get into field goal range even for Asalefu to try to get something from about a 30, 35-yard attempt? Also yes. However, what you got to do, you got to call the right plays, and you got to get a little lucky, right? There is some luck involved in football, especially you saw in that double pass, Paris being wide open. That was the perfect play call for that scenario. Phoenix Christian Hands team out ready to get ready for an onside kick. Quinones has kicked it back to his left both times as he'll kick it to his right and find Willis at the 25. Potentially some room for Willis here on the kick return, trying to take it back in the middle of the field and brought down with 13 seconds left. Flag flies in late, and it looks like this one might become a little bit easier for the Cougars. We do want to wait and see. This game has gotten increasingly more chippy as it's gone on. And it looks like it will go against the Phoenix as you see Coach Brett Davis talking to Croft as that's a huge penalty. That's 15 yards. That brings the ball past midfield, past the 45. I don't know if the mic picked that up, but you heard one of the coaches say it doesn't help us, and it really doesn't, and it makes Phoenix Christian's job with 2 timeouts very, very easy. We do await to see the official spot of the ball. .13 seconds left. Tonopah Valley leads Phoenix Christian 28-14. Ball will be spotted on the Phoenix's 43. Easily, and especially now, a lot less green for the Cougars. End around goes to Zaire Smith as he'll be tackled at midfield with 7.3 seconds left. That's Escarcega not getting fooled on the end around. Phoenix Christian has scored on that same play. The exact same yard as it was a 43-yard rushing touchdown by Smith. But now with 7.3 seconds left and 1 timeout, I think the mood changes, and certainly you gotta keep everything in front. This is what you hear. You hear on TV, you hear by the people that are paid a lot more than me to do this. I don't get paid at all, by the way. I just want to put that out there. That you keep it in front of you and you keep it inside of you. Don't let Phoenix Christian get something quick out of bounds. Don't let them get over your head and lob you like they did on that touchdown to Paris. Keep it in front of you. Keep it inside. Before the timeout, you had 3 Tonopah Valley defensive backs with their heels on the 30, preventing everything and basically playing a very, very deep cover 3 to keep everything in front. Ball placed exactly at midfield. Got to wonder what the call is here from Coach Jason Kindred. You do still have a timeout left, so you could do something quick and call a timeout maybe with 1 second left. Renteria straight drop, pass to Paris. Paris hook and ladder to Willis. Willis pushed out of bounds with a second left on the clock. Another late hit out of bounds. And there is a flag, so could be a hold. It could even be personal foul, maybe a sideline warning against the Cougars, maybe getting just a little too close. If it is a sideline warning, you do get 1 warning in high school, if my memory serves me correctly. And it will be a personal foul against Tonopah Valley. So add 15 yards to the end of that. And the Cougars with a chance to get some points from what really seemed like nothing. Ball spotted on the 18-yard line. From here, it would be about a 35-yard field goal. But surely, now you can't play prevent defense. You got to play your normal defense and play it like any other down with 1 second left on the clock. I am curious because I have seen Asalefu hit it as Coach Kindred does call a timeout. I don't know what the analytics might say, but once again, ball spotted on the Phoenix 18-yard line. And once again from here, a little football math for those at home. If you're wondering if it's field goal range, take where the yardage of the ball at about 7 yards for the snap. So in this case, 18 plus 7, it would be 25. And then plus 10 for the end zone, it would be a 35-yard field goal. A big decision for Coach Jason Kindred, as this would make it an 11-point game opposed to a 14-point game. It's still a 2-score game, as it looks like he will send out the kicking unit. You see long snapper Xander Harmon and kicker Adu Asalefu. Once again, 1 second left on the clock. 1st and 10 from the Tonopah 18. Coach Brett Davis still does have a timeout. You might see him ice the kicker here. This will be a 35-yard attempt. Hold is good. Kick is up. Line drive attempt, no good. Coach Jason Kindred visibly upset after that one. Asalefu, who is usually very good, and we see Jason Kindred pleading his case with the refs. Call is no good. You saw Pete Carroll get upset last week against the Browns for saying the defense was offside and wanting a retry, but the line judge says no. Asalefu's line drive kick, no good, fell about probably 10 yards what it would have been. And with that, clock strikes 0, and we've reached halftime here at Tonopah Valley High School, with the home Phoenix leading the visiting Phoenix Christian Cougars 28-14. We'll break for halftime. It's a 15-minute halftime. So for those that want to come back, maybe set a timer on your watch or your phone, or just look at the clock and think about 15 minutes from now at about 8:27 Mountain Standard Time. Halftime will be over. Score once again before we officially head to break. Tonopah Valley 28 and Phoenix Christian 14. This is Phoenix Christian Football here on the Phoenix Christian Football YouTube channel. We welcome you back to Tonopah Valley High School here in Tonopah, Arizona for the second half of AAA playoff action between the Tonopah Valley Phoenix and your Phoenix Christian Cougars. Squib kick from Tonopah Valley, high up in the air, caught by Zaire Smith as he'll break a tackle and try to take the onside kick a little farther, stiff-arming a man at the 50 and out all the way to the Phoenix 43. So Smith started at the near side sideline, goes all the way to the Phoenix Christian sidelines and gets about 8 yards in the process.
Christian will take their first down at the 44.
Phoenix Christian trails 28-14. Recap those 2 touchdowns for the Cougars coming off the arm of Renteria and the arm of Harmon, the first one to Zaire Smith, the second one to Dominic Paris. Handoff up the middle to Scroggins for no gain. Something that Tonopah has done very well in this game so far is contain the rushing attack of Phoenix Christian. You mentioned, if you were here for the pregame, you mentioned, or you heard me mention the name Javian Willis. I've hardly said the name Javian Willis since the first couple of plays. That's Phoenix Christian's 1,000-yard rusher. Play action pass from Renteria, trying to set his feet and flip his hips. Pass is incomplete. Flag flies at the 45. Renteria trying to look for Scroggins, and getting tangled up was James Richmond. That'll be pass interference against the Phoenix, so an early flag will help the Cougars move the ball all the way past the Phoenix 30-yard line. And a golden opportunity to cut this lead to 7. And you know, it's something that some fans won't be happy, Tonopah fans won't be. It's a 50-50 call, really. Handoff goes to Willis, cutting back in the middle and taking flight for a few more yards out to the 22. Going back to the penalty, a lot of penalties went against Phoenix Christian, a lot of self ones, false starts, holdings, personal foul in there. You can't have penalties in an offense like this. As Willis gets the ball and tries to cut it upfield. Brought down by Rivas for a loss of 1. 3rd and 3. But if you're Phoenix Christian, you got to eliminate the penalties, especially now in the second half. The first half, you could maybe feel it out. Now, you're down 14. This is potentially the last 2 quarters of football you have this season. You can't go out on a yellow flag. Handoff up the middle. Scroggins, the ball carry, and he'll be close to a first down. It looks like he'll be marked down at the 21. Cougars needed the 20, maybe even a little bit more than the 20, 19 and a half. And I agree with Coach Jason Kindred on this. I think this is a go-for-it scenario, and you don't even question it down 14. It's a gamble, yes. But if you don't get it, the Phoenix have the ball, you know, almost inside their own 20, and your defense comes out fresh, maybe ready to make a stop. Handoff to Ron Dan, and he goes nowhere. Ball comes out late. Picked up by Renteria, and now falling down at the 28. A big stop on 4th and 1, and the Cougars turn it over.
Tonopah Valley will take over on downs, 1st and 10.
Trying to ID who caused the fumble, but Ron Dan, even without the fumble, I don't think he gets the first down. A big stop for the Phoenix early on in the second half. Wilt Looking right. Throws it. Finds McManaman. McManaman with a blocker in front. Taking it out all the way to the Cougar 45. You know, McManaman, he's not that tall. He's listed at 5'7", but he does something really well that you've seen in the NFL. Now, does he have obviously the speed of the guy I'm about to mention? No. But you think about a Tyreek Hill or even a Travis Kelce in the Chiefs. It's not running the best route. It's not running the crispest route. It's finding the soft spots in the zone and sitting there and getting a chance to have Wilt throw you the ball. And that's exactly what McManaman did. Sanchez Caldwell on the run, breaks a tackle, now 2, down the near side, sideline taken out at the 30. Couple of missed tackles that the Cougars had a chance to take Sanchez Caldwell down in the backfield maybe for a loss of 1. Just very elusive from the junior running back. Sanchez Caldwell already a couple of touchdowns tonight, looking to add to that here in the third quarter. Looks like there's an injured Cougar at the 23. That's Aiden Flynn down on a knee. Flynn gets up and walks off under his own power. Well, what awaits either of these teams next is a potential trip out east to Pima to take on Pima in the second round. Pima playing Holbrook, a 16 seed, and the only team outside of the top 15 to get into the playoffs based on winning their conference. So Pima coming off of a 2A state title last year. They are undefeated this year, haven't lost in a while. A big test potentially coming up after this game for either of these teams. Wilt looks to his left, now looks over the middle. Flushed out, flag flies. He finds S. Cargay out near the 25. Call is holding against the Phoenix. And also looks like we have a sideline warning against Phoenix Christian, actually. But it'll only be a holding. I believe that goes against. Every team allowed 1 sideline warning. Or you redo the down potentially, but I don't believe you do, as, again, each team is allowed 1 sideline warning. You heard me say it back when the Cougars had a chance to potentially tie it up.
First down and 20.
So a 1st and 10, that would have maybe been a 2nd and 7, turns into a 1st and 20, all the way back at the Phoenix Christian 39. Wilt, handoff to Sanchez Caldwell as he'll be wrestled down at the 35. First one to arrive, Zaire Smith, followed by Ransom and Rondan. 2nd and, we'll call it 14. It's probably the best time that the Cougars have had in terms of tackling Sanchez Caldwell in this game. Wilt, looking to his left, fires, pass is caught in the middle of the field, and now looking to get up more and get a couple more yards is Croft, making it a 3rd and 6. You saw it right there again. It's very soft concepts, finding the space in the zone, getting the ball to your playmakers, and letting them do the rest after that. 3rd and 6. We have an official's timeout. Another Cougar is slow to get up. It's Israel Torres on a knee trying to make his way back to the PC sideline. Something you don't want to see for the Cougars. Both Torres and Flynn going off a little bit injured. 7:48 left to play in the third. Tonopah leads Phoenix Christian 28-14. Looking to hold on to this lead and extend to it here on this drive with a 3rd and 6 coming up from the Cougar 26. Wilt with 4 receivers to his left. McManaman in motion. Wilt looks right, fires to McManaman at the 20. McManaman trying to make Paris miss and can't. That's just enough for a Phoenix first down. Now move the sticks and new line of scrimmage becomes the 19. First and 10. Wilt gets the snap, flag flies. Play is called dead. There's some movement on the left side. I'm not sure if it was McManaman or Croft, but one of them jumped. And I'll move the ball back 5 yards to the 24. Second and 15. Screen trying to get it out to Croft. I think that was a little RPO action there with Witt and Foley Futu at running back. See Sanchez Caldwell now as maybe a traditional X receiver on the near side of your screen. Foley Futu now assumes the running back role. Pass way high intended for Sanchez Caldwell. Pressure coming in hot from Achilles Lopez. It's now 3rd and 15 for Tonopah Valley. And with what I've seen from Croft, I think it's an automatic go for it if you don't get the first down here. A big 3rd down for the Cougar defense. Wilt gets the snap, looks right, fires, caught by Sanchez Caldwell at the 20. He's ushered out at the 18 by Dominic Paris. Fourth and 10. Can hear the Cougar faithful that traveled the hour west. 4th and 10 from the 19. Wilt gets the snap. Looking right. Looking for Sanchez. Caldwell in the back of the end zone. Incomplete. Both teams open up the first half, turning the ball back over to each other. It's 1st and 10 Cougars. Sanchez Caldwell had a step. Ball just overthrown by Malachi Witt. You've seen him come out this half. A lot of his passes have been high, a little amped up by 14. You're excited. You want to get out there and keep going, but you got to be careful, especially passes that go high. You're throwing a ball over the middle. It goes high. Guess who's there to pick it off? The safety. 1st and 10 for the Cougars. Handoff goes to Willis on Would have been a counter, and flag flies. Frank Reinhardt tangled up with Escarcega. Call from the head official. And it goes against Tonopah Valley again. This is by far the chippiest and most involved game in terms of personal fouls, and one would expect it to, right? I mean, this is win or go home. You don't have a guaranteed game next week. If you're a senior like Reinhardt was on that play, you're going to give your all. You're going to want to keep playing. No matter who you end up playing in the next round, it doesn't matter. All that matters is this game and you want to win it. Tensions are high. Testosterone is high. Emotions are high. You got to find a way to control those. 1st and 10, Renteria, bootleg pass, and he's sacked back at the 20. That was Foley Futu getting in there on the sack, his first of the year. Phoenix Christian trying to go play action, didn't work on first down, now set up way behind the sticks. Back at the 23 of Tonopah Valley, they need all the way to the 44 for a first down. Empty backfield for Renteria. He gets the snap. Looking to set up a screen to Scroggins, and he does with men in front. Brandon Scroggins gets another block all the way out past the 50 at the 47. Big play there for Phoenix Christian, getting the offense a little bit of life and a little bit of breathing room all the way out to the Phoenix 47. Renteria took a big shot on that one, and now in steps Michael Harmon, who threw the touchdown pass to Paris. Hand off to Scroggins off the right side. He'll get about 3. Flag flies once again. Ref's not letting anything go, and this one might be going against Phoenix Christian. You see kind of Tonopah Valley, almost kind of egging them on, and also it does go against Tonopah Valley. And the fans below me not happy with that one. Ball spotted at the 44. Depending on if that occurred during the play or not, ref signaled for penalty to be declined. I don't know why you would decline that if you're Coach Kindred. A lot of flags so far this game, most by far since Phoenix Christian's first game against Tanca Verde. That's 15 yards from the end of the play. That'll move the ball all the way up to the 29, if I am correct. However, looks like ball stays put. I'm not sure why that is, if it was a personal foul. Harmon handoff to Rondan as Hilby stood up at the line of scrimmage and eventually brought down for a loss of 2. Third and about 7, maybe 3rd and 9 actually, when the far side official made it correct. So 3rd and 9. Harmon once again in at quarterback for Renteria. Rondan, the man in motion. Quick throw to Zaire Smith as he drops it. Even with the drop, I'm not 100% sure if Smith even gets 2 yards. He had no blockers out in front, and just a play where you get it off quick and try to kind of do what Tonopah Valley's doing, get it to your playmakers, have them make the plays in space. 4th and 9. Cougars need the 36. Reinhardt in motion. Harmon pass to Willis. Willis tackle at the 43, short of a first down. I want to thank the chat real quick. I missed the offsetting personal fouls. That's why I was confused. So I had only seen personal foul go against Tonopah Valley, but that's why penalty and the ball stayed where it was. And for the 3rd drive in a row, teams turn it back over to one another. 4:36 left to play in the 3rd quarter. First and 10. Wilt, quick throw out to McManaman. McManaman with some blockers in front, trying to extend it out, eventually taken out at the 43. Tonopah Valley's going to want a late hit. Second and 5 for the Phoenix. Wilt gets the snap, looks left, fires, passes, caught by McManaman. Makes Scroggins miss. A blocker out in front, McManaman all the way to the 35, and that time a flag will fly, and Tonopah Valley fans will be pleased.
Big gain in yards, but a flag on the play.
Referees not letting anything slide, especially here in the second half. A big penalty that will give the Phoenix 15 extra yards from the spot of that foul, bringing them in the red zone easily. Ball be spotted on the Cougar 18. Now Phoenix within striking distance. They've been almost perfect in the red zone so far tonight. First and 10. Wilt hand off to Sanchez Caldwell on a draw. Sanchez Caldwell out to the 15. Eventually taken down by, I believe it's Scroggins. Gain of 7 on first down to bring up 2nd and 3. Phoenix take their time getting to the line. 3:37 left to play in the second half. Wilt, quick fires to his left. Pass caught by Sanchez Caldwell. Eventually brought down by Hernandez behind the line of scrimmage. So 2nd and 3 turns into a 3rd and 9. Officially goes down as a loss of 6. That's something you want to see if you're Phoenix Christian defensive coordinator Larry Kindred, your defensive lineman, first of all, making the tackle and making the tackle for a big loss. Wilt looks to his left. Pass is caught out inside the 10, all the way inside the 5.
First and goal.
That was Ethan Loftus on the catch and run. 1st and goal. beg your pardon, that's Jeremiah Burns on the catch. Handoff goes to Sanchez. Caldwell, and he's immediately met. Play blown dead. Ball came out at the end. That's Hernandez getting in there for a loss of 5. They say you make adjustments at halftime. Well, Pablo Hernandez has made some great adjustments there. 2 tackles for loss on this play. An early whistle that could have really gone either way. Ball on the ground. Cougars could have scooped and scored, but it could have also been as easy for the Phoenix to scoop and score that. 2nd and goal. Wilt hand off to Foley Futu. Foley Futu, nowhere to go. Harmon and Smith combining on the tackle for a loss of 1. 4th and goal. Actually, I beg your pardon, 3rd and goal. I was thinking of play ahead. Two consecutive rushes for negative yards. Wilt looks to his left. Now looks over the middle of the field to the back of the end zone. Incomplete. Flag thrown behind the line of scrimmage at the 18, and it's a hold against Tonopah. Wilt trying to find Croft in the back of the end zone. Willis on the coverage for Phoenix Christian. So a 3rd and goal potentially coming up from the 20. But it does look like Coach Jason Kindred has elected to decline the penalty. And it looks like Tonopah Valley is going to go for a field goal here. And will be Quinones on to kick the extra point. No, it won't be. Looks like it'll be McManaman. Snap is high, kick is up, and blocked by the Cougars. And it looks like that was a live ball. Try is no good. And the Cougars take back over with 55 seconds left to play in the 3rd quarter. I'm wondering why that wasn't blown dead, as the only way it makes it live is if a Phoenix Christian player touched it after it was already blocked. Cougars have it 1st and 10 from their own 10. Renteria back out at quarterback. The 3 looked like a 9 for a brief moment. Renteria handoff up the middle to Scroggins, goes nowhere for a loss of 2. That's Foley Futu getting in there once again. He has not been fooled by the run game here tonight. Last play of the quarter coming up. Now under 30 seconds left to play. Now under 15 seconds left to play. A long time to get the play in. 2nd and 11. Renteria, play action pass. In trouble. Ball falls out. Touchdown, Phoenix. Play action pass goes horribly wrong for the Cougars, but couldn't have gone any better for the Phoenix, as without their offense getting on the field, and PAT still to come. Now a 3-possession game with 6 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Croft on to try the point after. Kick is up, and it is good. With 6 seconds left in the third quarter, Tonopah Valley leads Phoenix Christian 35-14.
That'll put Tonopah Valley at 35, Phoenix Christian 14.
If Tonopah Valley scores even another point, it'll be a new season record for the Cougars in terms of points given up. The most they have given up was 35. That came back against Camp Verde, a game that really was trailing the same path as this one to begin. And the only difference is Phoenix Christian going into the fourth quarter only had 1 touchdown. They do have 2 now. Phoenix Christian looking for anything now to try to get him back in the game. Onside kick coming. Ball high up in the air. Scroggins gets it at about the 33 and will stumble forward to about the 36 as Michael Harmon tangled up there with Philip Buffett. So that'll bring the ball back 15 yards for the Cougars. I think most people can agree that this is by far the chippiest game the Cougars have played in thus far this year. But that does do it for the third quarter here at Tonopah Valley High School. And the home Phoenix lead 35-14. Cougars 12 minutes, down 3 possessions. So it looks like we do still have some discussion amongst the referees about exactly what to do for that call. It looks like it might be offsetting once again. Once again, it was Michael Harmon tangled up with Philip Buffett. A long discussion still taking place. Also for the spot of the ball, because you have to flip the field. So I believe what they're just confirming is where the ball was, moving it back 15 yards from there, then marching it down to the opposite side of the field so the teams can switch sides. And so for the chain crew on the far side to get down. So Cougars will start at their own 23. Sides have yet to flip fields. Again, I believe the referees just comparing notes, trying to get everything correct as possible. As you see the umpire, along with the back judge, going to where the ball might be, as now they do move the ball. Because sometimes there is a snafu where you maybe get the spot of the ball wrong, and that's exactly what the referees were conferring about, just trying to make sure the spot of the ball was good to go. "12 minutes left to play from Tonopah Valley High School. Phoenix up by 21. Cougars trying to cut that deficit. Willis, the man in motion. And Paris jumps early. Confusion with the count. First and 10 quickly becomes first and 15. Cougars looking for some life on offense. Harmon in at quarterback. Rondan, the man in motion. Harmon gets a snap. Quick throw out to Willis and is dropped at the 13. Second and 15. Only 5 seconds ticked off the game clock. Tonopah Valley doing a really good job of really almost neutralizing the Phoenix Christian run game here tonight. And they've not allowed a rushing touchdown. Double reverse goes to Zaire Smith as he'll get tackled way behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 5. Cougars really reaching deep into the playbook now just to try and get anything working. Phoenix defense staying pat. Third and long. Cougars need the 33 for a first down. Harmon gets the snap. Quick throw to Zaire Smith. Pass is incomplete. In and out of the hands of Najee Cooper. You knew coming into Tonopah tonight it would be a hard matchup. So far this season at home, Tonopah undefeated, a perfect 5-0 record. They've not lost a game here at this field since October 15th, 2021. That was a 14-36 loss versus St. John Paul II, as Sanchez' left-footed effort falls at the 30 and will take a Phoenix Christian bounce out to the 38. Does make it a little more challenging for Malachi Wilt and the Phoenix offense to score now. It's hard when you don't really have a punter that can, really, truly punt. And, anyone can really kick the ball and try to, get it. But a true and dedicated punter. Asalefu is a true and dedicated kicker, but a true and designated punter. First and 10 from the Cougar 38. Wilt gets the snap, trying to set up a screen. Wilt in trouble, down he goes. Ball comes out. Phoenix Christian pick it up and take it all the way inside the 40. Luke Hawking, the one to recover the ball. And the big boy rumbled and stumbled for about 10 yards before being brought down. And now the Cougars have a new breath of life on their sideline. It was a screen that the Phoenix were trying to set up there, and the Cougars just got there before Wilt could really even see the ball. Or I should say see the ball out of his hand, and with 10:40 left here to play, Phoenix lead 35-14. Cougars have it first and 10. Play action pass, Harmon looking for Willis. He finds him out of the backfield, and Willis will stumble forward for a gain of 1. A great job by Willis just to even see where the ball was and catch it. Cougars All 14 points tonight have come off turnovers, trying to turn that 14 into a 21 in that stat category and the scoreboard. 2nd and 9. And Harmon gets Tonopah Valley to jump offside. Now make it a 2nd and 4. From the Phoenix 31. Now under 10 minutes to play. Tonopah leads by 21. Still more than enough time for the Cougars to get back into this one, but each second becoming more and more precious. Harmon handoff to Willis, and he'll be brought down way in the backfield by multiple Phoenix. There's a flag on the play as Cooper Quinton a little shaken up, but penalty is a face mask against the Phoenix. I do want to apologize. You have Tonopah Valley Phoenix and Phoenix Christian Cougars, so it can sometimes get a little confusing, so I do apologize for those at home, but a huge penalty moving the ball all the way inside the red zone at the 18. The 18 of Tonopah Valley, rather.
1st and 10, Phoenix Christian.
First time the Cougars have been in the red zone in, well, it's felt like really forever and really almost the whole game. Both touchdowns have been really big plays, 20-plus yards or more. Harmon, quick screen, almost picked off by Foley Futu. That was read beautifully by the sophomore linebacker, trying to set up a screen to Zaire Smith, and boy, Foley Futu, I don't know if he had the speed, but he surely had the grass to work with to try to get a pick six. .9:01 left to play here in the final quarter, potentially, of play. 2nd and 10 for the Cougars. Harmon, quick screen, passes intercepted by Quinones. Quinones with an army out in front. Out past midfield. Quinones taken down just shy of the 40. A big miscue there between Harmon and Smith. Harmon expected Smith's route to be more of a skinny post. Smith ran more of a slant. Quinones really just playing center fielder. All he has to do, come and collect it and become a ball carrier. Tonopah Valley takes a timeout with 8:47 left to play in the third quarter. First and 10 for Tonopah Valley after the Quinones interception. Wilt handoff to Sanchez Caldwell. Sanchez Caldwell brought down shy. The first down at 33, maybe 32-yard line. Oh, I was wrong on both. 34. 2nd and 3. And now what you'd expect to see from Tonopah Valley, just trying to run off as much clock here as you can and try to score to really put this game out of reach. Hand off to Sanchez. Caldwell once again is trying to wrap him up, and eventually tripping him up is Zaire Smith. Gain of 1 on second down will bring up 3rd and 2. Under 8 minutes to go. Tonopah still leads 35-14. Third and 2. Wilt. Hand off to Foley Futu on a draw. Foley Futu. Ball came out. Zaire Smith has it at the 35. Phoenix Christian still pushing, trying to get to the 40. Refs say the ball carrier was down. Or did he? It looks like we might. No. It'd be Phoenix Christian ball. I saw the head ref point down to the ground. I think rather that was for Zaire Smith. So another fumble and another turnover. So back-to-back turnovers for Tonopah and Phoenix Christian. 7:28 left to play. Another chance to do something here for the Cougars.
Phoenix Christian gets the turnover. They'll take the ball on the 38.
First and 10. Cougars take over at their own 38. Renteria back in at quarterback. He gets a snap, handoff to Willis off the left side, and Willis brought down inbounds at the line of scrimmage by Alejandro Rivas. Second and 10. Cougars come to the line. Handoff goes to Willis. Willis with some room and some blockers all the way out near the first down, and that's the first really positive run you've seen from the Cougars in about a quarter. 6:45 left to play as they move the chains. Now clock winds, 6:44 and counting down. Tonopah Valley still with a 21-point lead. Renteria gives to Willis off the left side. Again, Willis stiff-arming a man and eventually getting out of bounds. Just shy of the line to get. Second and, it looks like it'll be about a 2nd and 2. Ball spotted at the Tonopah Valley 44-yard line. Willis, the wherewithal to get out of bounds to stop the clock. Renteria gives to Willis. Willis looking for some space, and looks like he won't find any. Some late hand fighting there between Foley Futu and Achilles Lopez. 2 flags fly. You might have offsetting penalties here. Will be 3rd and 3 from the Tonopah 45. 6:09 left to play. Renteria drops back to pass. Looking over the middle, trying to find Smith. He makes the catch at the 25 and stumbling all the way inside the 20. Another late flag flies. Looks like Zaire Smith might have said some unchristian-like language to that of James Richmond. But certainly not what you want to see, as unsportsmanlike goes against the Cougars and will bring them back 15 yards. So you get the first down, but now you're getting brought back as well. Had to be something that Smith said after the play, as you didn't see him, throw a punch or shove or really anything like that. So after about a gain of 20, becomes really more like a net gain of 5. And now officially under 6 minutes to play, 5:59. Clock winds. First and 10. Renteria is trying to set up a screen to Reinhardt, and he'll go nowhere. Foley Futu once again on the tackle, and he's been active behind the line of scrimmage tonight. 2nd and 13 from the Tonopah 36. Cougars need to think about potentially playing with some pace here now with 5:09 left to play. Down 3 scores. Eventually you're going to have to play with some pace or go for a big play. As a timeout is called by the Cougars, they'll talk this one over. We'll take a quick break. Tonopah ahead 35-14, under 5 minutes to play. Renteria, quick screen to Smith, and he drops it once again. Smith, who joined the team back at week 3 against Sequoia Pathway, really used more as a tight end than a wide receiver. Once again, he does have the frame to play wide receiver and the capability to go up and get jump balls like you saw earlier and like you saw a couple plays ago. 6'4", 200 pounds, only a sophomore, and this is his first year playing football, so very inexperienced Smith, and something that Jason Kinder will love to have going forward. Here's Willis, he drops a pass, and he had an army in front of him, and that could have been a touchdown. Another big drop for the Cougar offense. 4:48 left to play here in the fourth quarter. And I do just want to give a heads up that we are running this stream off of a laptop, if you can believe it or not. So laptop currently to 14%. We'll try to keep that charge up to bring you both audio and video. However, if it comes to it, I will have to unplug the camera more than likely and do it a true radio style. So if that happens, I will make a comment in the chat and we'll go from there. 4th and 15. Renteria looking to his right, throwing up a prayer to Smith. Smith Pass is incomplete. Smith looking for a PI. No PI. So Tonopah Valley takes over with 4:40 left to play. And you can imagine that we'll see a lot of Sir Isaac Sanchez Caldwell and Thomas Fulifutu here on this drive, trying to drain as much of the clock as possible. Phoenix Christian with 2 timeouts left that they can play with if they so choose, but 2 turnovers by the Phoenix Christian defense, unable to capitalize by the offense. Hand off to Sanchez Caldwell. He'll be taken down for a loss of 1 by Pablo Hernandez. Second and 11, clock continues to tick, and every passing second or moment, just a dagger to the Cougars sideline as time becomes precious. Tonopah Valley taking their time. Now under 4 minutes, flag flies, and I'll actually go against Tonopah Valley. You saw Zaire Smith jump, but you know who else jumped? Dylan Croft. So a second and 11 becomes a second and 16. Clock winds. And now 3:45 left with Tonopah up by 21. Cougars trying to salvage their season, trying to salvage a playoff run and a year that no one really thought they would even have. Wilt gets the snap, hands off to Sanchez Caldwell. Flag comes in at the 30. This could be a multitude of things. Holding comes to mind. Potentially a face mask. It is a holding call against the Phoenix, so that'll back it up 10 more yards from the spot of the foul. And a 1st and 10 in what seems like the blink of an eye turns in to a 2nd and 25. They spot the ball on the 20. It's a 2nd and 26 exactly for the Phoenix. You see head coach Brett Davis tell his quarterback Wilt to wait until you see him flash 5. No play clock here, so what happens, you'll see him flash 5, then 4, then 3, as Hawking makes a nice tackle on Sanchez Caldwell. Sanchez Caldwell gets back to the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 26. And Tonopah just going to drain every second of the clock they can, now really behind the sticks. You wonder if they maybe try to pass it and keep it in bounds. If not, maybe a punt coming up to flip the field. Wilt, hand off to Sanchez Caldwell. He'll run out to the left, cutting up field, eventually taken down in bounds at the 24. Coach Kindred uses a timeout. So 4th and long, and a lot to talk over if you're Phoenix Christian. We'll take a break. A late substitution is Tommy Foley-Futu, as the Phoenix will look to punt this ball away. Smith and Rondan back to receive. Punt falls at the 48, picked up by Rondan at the 50. Rondan makes a man miss, now cutting back inside. Rondan still fighting. He'll be taken down at the 42. Another flag flies. This one more than likely be another personal foul that goes against the Cougars. Renteria's pass is dropped and almost intercepted. Renteria was trying to find Paris on the deep post. That was James Richmond over on the coverage. 2nd and 10. And after the personal foul in Tonopah Valley, they'll move the ball all the way up to the 27, where it would have been more around 45-ish yard line. 2nd and 10. 1:39 left. Tonopah leads by 21. Renteria gets snapped. Ball is on the ground. And it looks like Renteria fell on top of it, and he did. A botched exchange between, and it looks, and they'll say the Phoenix recovered it. So Renteria did not fall on top of it. The Phoenix get the ball back, and with 1:31 and only one timeout remaining for the Cougars, 1 first down will end the game. As a flag flies from the head official. Unsportsmanlike against Phoenix Christian. The officiating crew tonight really not letting anyone slide with anything. And despite having one timeout left, it looks like the Cougars will not use it. Tonopah Valley took their first knee. They'll need to take 2 more here to end it, as you see a bit of good sport. You see Adu Asalefu come in late to be on the field for his final snaps as a senior. But they'll do it here from Tonopah Valley High School. In the West Valley here now, under 45 seconds to play, and all but official final. Tonopah Valley 35 and your Phoenix Christian Cougars 14, as that'll do it. Tonopah Valley moves on, and the Cougars season will end at the hands of the Phoenix. Final score once again, Tonopah Valley 35 and your Phoenix Christian Cougars 14. Cougars end the year 8-3 after finishing second in the 2A Agua Fria Conference. Tonopah Valley improving to 9-2. Brett Davis picking up win number 19 for his career at Tonopah, and they will play the winner of Holbrook and Pima. More than likely it will be Pima, so a tough test faces the Phoenix as they will head to Pima. Far drive, heading out to the East Valley, very East Valley. But that'll do it here from Tonopah Valley High School. And for myself, Nicholas Petrisky, I just want to say a personal thank you, as I do want to apologize. We got to adjust the camera. I just want to say a personal thank you for all those who have tuned in. It's been a great honor and privilege being the voice of your Phoenix Christian Cougars here throughout the season through 11 games. I've had a lot of fun. I hope you've had a ton of fun watching me have fun, or listening to me have fun, and watching your Phoenix Christian Cougars have fun. Not the way anyone wants to end a season, right? A loss away from home at a school about an hour away. It's going to feel like ages on the bus ride back to the campus of Phoenix Christian. But I won't be here next year, so I will depart you Phoenix Christian fans with these words. This team is all but done. A lot of freshmen and sophomores contributed heavily to this team. You're going to lose some seniors. You're going to lose guys like Cyrus Renteria. You're going to lose Javian Willis, Scroggins. But guess what? Behind them, you have Ransom. You have Rondan. You have a couple of guys that can carry the load and pass the torch on, really. And, of course, whoever you get next year coming in as freshmen. But this team is not done. For this year, they are. But this team is far from being away. You went 1-9 last year. You improved to 8-2. That's a 7-win turnaround. That just doesn't happen by accident. A lot of work was put in by Coach Kindred and his staff and the guys on this team on the field. It's been one of the greatest honors of my life being able to call these games. And really, I hope, again, that you've enjoyed it as much as I have. I do want to say a couple more things. First, if they are still tuning in, I want to say happy birthday to my dad, Ken. It's his birthday today. He celebrated it with my mom and my brother Anthony, back in Cleveland, Ohio. So I just want to say happy birthday, Dad. It's funny. Had a game my mom and Dad's birthday this year. But as well, too, I want to say and announce, too, for the Phoenix Christian fans that just tune in because they want to listen to their school. This is not the last time that you'll hear me. I will be taking over as the voice for Phoenix Christian basketball this late November, so stay tuned for that. Phoenix Christian basketball, another exciting season coming up for them. And I also want to give a shout-out to someone that really means a lot to me and has supported me in my journey here, not just for Phoenix Christian, but as a play-by-play person as a whole, and that's my girlfriend, Kaylee. She has listened to everything from Columbus, from Akron, wherever she is, a 3-hour, 2-hour time difference. She's listened to every single one of my calls here for Phoenix Christian for that I do at Arizona State or wherever else I do it from. So, Kaylee, honey, I just want to say I love you. Thank you for your support, and thank you for all of your guys' support here on the Phoenix Christian Football YouTube channel. I need to wrap this up. My computer is about to die, but lastly, thank you again, honey. I love you so much. Thank you for your support. For those fans that are still here from Tonopah Valley that tuned in, thank you. Thank you for your support on the Phoenix Christian Football YouTube channel. I know not everyone can get out to the game, so thank you for tuning in here. And, of course, for the Phoenix Christian fans that have tuned in from Ohio, from Texas, from Missouri, from wherever you tuned in, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have a great night. And, again, this is not the last you've heard of these Phoenix Christian Cougars. I've had a great time. I hope you have too. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great night as always. And, of course, please and always, folks, drive safe. Thank you, and have a good night.